Hi, and welcome to the July edition of Rowlett on the Water on the Move. I'm Todd Gottel.
And I'm Linda Umbel.
This show is produced entirely by city staff and can be seen on Rowlett's own television network, RTN 16. You know, you can also find Rowlett on the Move, Linda, not only on Rowlett 16, which plays all day long, but you can also find it on our YouTube channel by going to Rowlett Texas Video. You know, you can also find us on the streaming video page by going to rowlett.com. You can find us a lot of ways, can't you?
You can find us everywhere.
All right, so here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
Okay, you got to go like this.
Okay.
Okay, a little like that. Now, one hand at a time.
Oh,
One
okay.
hand at a time. This way, to the right, and then to the left.
Okay.
All right. Ready? Go ahead. Keep going.
Woo!
Baby love, baby love. I don't know the words to this because I forgot them, but I had a good time. So, all right. Sorry. So, it was really great, wasn't it?
It was
and what am I
awesome.
singing? People are like, I don't know because I didn't go.
Well, I believe you're mimicking.
Or to all the single ladies, someday we'll be together. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. How about that? So that single lady's under 45, by the way. Okay, just in
You
case.
are just
All
too
right, so-
funny. Mary Wilson of the Supremes.
That's exactly.
to
Barry
answer
Wilson
your
of the
question.
Supremes. That's right. And we had an amazing time on Main Street this year. Fireworks on Main. Pop, pop, pop.
It was fabulous, wasn't it?
It
Just
was really good.
amazing. It's hard to believe that you can have that kind of good quality family fun on Main Street in Rowlett and not have to go anywhere.
Well, and I was really amazed, in all seriousness, the number of people. You got people come in from Dart. You had people from all over the community, from
That's
other
right.
communities come in and spend their day, their evening on Main Street. It was a lot of fun.
It sure was. And thanks to all of the city employees and volunteers who made the event a success. We couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know, and of course, a special thanks goes to our Rowlett Parks Department and our recreation team. You know, as usual, when we have all these events, they are always there. And it's not, I hate to just thank them today, but we need to thank them all the time. But they do just an amazing, amazing job. There's a ton of planning that goes into this. And this is really a huge event. This is our biggest event all year.
You bet.
So it's a lot of fun. And can't wait to see what happens next year.
I know.
Who do you think we're going to get next year? What do you think?
I don't know. Who do you want? Because we're going to hear you singing all year long. So you probably should have some input
How
into
about
that.
when the shark bites with his teeth, dear? How about that? No? Oh, he's not
Probably
here
not.
anymore, but
No.
maybe we okay, there it is.
Kind of hard to bring him back.
Now other people are watching this going, what's he singing? Now if this is my daughter, it would probably be so one of those deals, but I don't like those, so I want something a little nicer, more family oriented.
Okay. We'll work on
I
that.
want something I can understand the words. I
Okay.
need help with the words.
Since you'll be singing them, I think that's pretty important.
So if you could not make it, here's a little bit of what you missed. Let the video roll, Drew. So what did you think?
I thought it was great. It was.
So, all right, let's move on to something a little more fun. How about that?
Well, you know, and this
I don't know
is
if it's fun, but it's really
no,
important
but
to
it's
the
an
city.
important topic. It's one of my favorite topics.
Yes.
And that's volunteers.
I know we love our volunteers.
We do, and it's time for the 4th annual Boards and Commissions Volunteer Fair. Hard to believe that we've already done 3 and on to 4.
Well, it's Thursday,
amazing.
July 25th.
Yep,
At the Rowlett Community Center.
at 7:30. Wow.
Hard to believe.
You know, representatives from the library, the animal shelter, police, and many other city departments, along with current board members, will be on hand to answer any question you may have regarding service on the boards or commissions.
Now, I hear all the time, how do I get involved? What do I got to do? if I had only known, I'd love to participate in that. Well, this is the great opportunity to be able to do that because you have the opportunity to find out how you can volunteer in your community.
The interesting thing about that, Mayor, is with the board members that are present, essentially what we do is we set up almost like a mini trade show.
That's right.
Each one of the boards has a table, and it explains what they do, what policy recommendations they make to council. The board members are present so that they can give you some perspective on the time and planning preparation that goes into each of the meetings so that you can find something that you want to be involved in and use your talents and skills the way you can best help the community.
Exactly right. And the coolest part is it's not you have to go to this person to find out that person. It's all in one room together.
That's
so you can walk
exactly
from
right.
table to table. So
and we also have some of the things that support our community, like our RACES or CERT. That's available there. Keep Rowlett Beautiful has a table. So you don't have to just serve on a board and commission. Just if you want to volunteer and give back to your community, this is the place to go to find out how to do it.
Well, and our volunteers are such an important part. They have an impact to our bottom line. And did you know, and I know you know this, but to the viewers, in 2012, the volunteers for the city saved the taxpayers how much?
$583,179.
I got the cents and 34 cents.
There you go.
But seriously,
That's a lot of money.
It is. It
That
absolutely
is a lot of money.
And when you talk about almost $600,000,
Yes.
I mean, think about what that is to our tax rate.
It's two pennies almost.
That's exactly right. It's huge. And,
It is.
And so to those volunteers that are currently volunteering, thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those that aren't involved and you want to be involved, come and find out how.
Yes, and again, mark your calendar, Thursday, July 25th from 7 to 8:30. I think we said 7:30 earlier, Mayor, but it is 7 to 8:30 at Rowlett Community Center.
From 7 to 8:30, I will be there.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Well, let's talk a little bit about a subject that's more of on a serious note.
Yes.
And that's Kids Kingdom.
That's right.
Very, very upsetting. I think it's really systemic to a lot of the underlying problems that we have that we're going to be talking about as we go through the upcoming budget. But in late May, the city's playground, Kids Kingdom, went through a national, all the city's playgrounds went through a national inspection process, which was conducted by an independent inspector.
That's correct. And 4 playgrounds did not pass inspection: Kids Kingdom, Hereford Park, Sherwood Park, and some play equipment at the community park.
And due to the significant violations, these playgrounds posed an immediate safety risk to the city, and we in the city had a responsibility to protect the children, utilizing these facilities by repairing them, the specific equipment, or removing them simply because they're a hazard.
That's right. And we always, because we are stewards of taxpayers' money, we always have to look at the cost of repairs versus replacement. And when we did that, we recognized that the cost of the repairs required to make Kids Kingdom safe for the community was too great to repair. It was really cheaper to replace it. And the single biggest issue for that is that the lumber treated at Kids Kingdom were chromate copper arsenic. Which essentially just means it contained arsenic. And this material was banned by the federal government in 2003 for the use as a playground material. So when we disassembled the playground to take care of the structural issues that we'll talk about here in a minute, you can't put back the arsenic-laced boards.
Well, because they were the main support posts. That's really what it boils down to, is when you start looking at the things that were bad, we had internal rot. And
right.
I mean, and it caused, at the end of the day, you've got to take it all down.
That's right. So we had the main support posts that had internal rot, and we had to replace them. But once you get to the internal post, you can't put back the arsenic lace boards. And then the structural fasteners, which didn't appear to be stainless steel, were approaching failure. So when you think about the post, you think about the boards, you think about the fasteners. Truly, we're building another playground.
Plus the other safety factors as
That's
well.
right.
So it was just a lot of things. Very, very unfortunate. Linda, just on a side note, I had a meeting, I had met with the Cub Scouts a few weeks ago, and they had raised money for us to help with the rebuild for Kids Kingdom.
And isn't that cool?
And it is, it absolutely is. And we'll talk about that in just a second because I'm really excited about that. But what I think is really important out of this is that they recognize the safety issue, and the comment back to me with the entire group was safety first. And I think everybody gets that, because if we knew that there was a violation and we did nothing about it, shame on us.
That's exactly right, and we just can't have children injured or killed on playground equipment. It's just unacceptable. So you do what you have to do.
Now, I've got a question, because a lot of people have asked me this. I know that we have the answer, but maybe you can restate it again. But the pickets that are there, a lot of the pickets had individual names on there.
That's
Some
right.
had said, my grandmother's no longer here, but she donated some money, and is there any way I can get that picket back?
Well, there sure is. If you would like to make a request, you can go to Rowlett.com and fill out the Kids Kingdom Fence Picket Form, or you can call 972-412-6100 with questions or for more information. And here's how the process works. You fill out the form, and all forms received by 4 o'clock are then processed by Parks and Recreation. The very next morning, the fence pickets are pulled and they're brought to City Hall, and you will be able to stop by the next day, as long as you submit your form by 4 o'clock the day before, and pick up your picket. And we are documenting who picks it up and what it is, so in the event that there's any questions about that, we'll be able to provide that information. And I anticipate that we'll continue the Kids Kingdom Fence Picket process through the end of July. So if you want your fence picket, it's important that you get it before the end of July, because at some point in time we can't store the pickets, and we need to be able to move on. So we'll have fence pickets available through the month of July, through the end of July.
So let's talk about some good news out of this, is the fact that, the City Council, we recognize that the history and the significance of Kids Kingdom, and the significance had specifically to the Rowlett community, because we had a lot of volunteers that helped build this park. There was a lot of corporate money raised as well as individual money. But the community, we as a community had pledged $100,000 towards its replacement, which I think is really important. And that $100,000, we estimate right now about $200,000 replacement cost, but 50%, which is, I think the original, I think the city donated about 10% of the original funds. We are donating about 50% of the original funds toward its replacement.
That's right. And the city will conduct a community fundraising effort in the coming months to raise funds necessary to replace the playground with a safe and more sustainable structure. And we're also going to conduct a study to ascertain where the best location for the new playground is. And why don't you talk about that just a minute?
Yeah, it's interesting when, things change over time.
That's right.
And one of the things that we're looking at right now is the importance of Herforth Park. We haven't done a lot in Herforth Park. It's mainly been a few ball fields there. There's a couple tennis courts there, and a few picnic areas, for lack of I'm really being nice here when I say picnic areas. But it will, we have not been good to the parks over the years, and a lot of it's just funding. We'll talk about more as we get into of course, our budget process. But we recognize the fact that downtown is such an important part. As we've gone through the journey on Realize Rowlett 2020, downtown is going to be a cornerstone of the community.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it really is. And I think what's going to be very, very important with this is that we try to use downtown, and a park of that significance with Kids Kingdom brings people from all over. And Pecan Grove Park's a great park, but it's kind of tucked away out there a little bit, and we think that something like Herforth Park, and again, this is still open for discussion, but something like Herforth Park could be a real destination, especially with all the mobility that we're focusing on with downtown. Well,
and the convenience of Herforth Park now off the PGBT, right at the Main Street exit, to your point, it's very easy for everybody in the community to get to Herforth Park.
It is. So we're going to be doing some studies. There's going to be some focus group with the kids to learn more about what kind of park equipment they want. We're going to have a lot of fun in doing this, and hopefully we'll get that park rebuilt very soon.
You bet.
Now, on another serious note, let's talk about those mosquitoes in the West Nile virus.
It's hot, isn't it, Todd?
It is very hot.
It just got triple-digit heat. It went from spring to now it's hot. Now we're fighting them pesky mosquitoes.
I'm hot.
I know.
Forget it.
You are so silly.
Isn't that a song?
It could be.
Never mind. But seriously, though,
I'm having a hard time transitioning with you this morning.
That's okay. No, I totally understand. So let's talk about West Nile virus a little bit, because it is a real serious subject. As things warm up, the mosquitoes come out, and people are running around saying, what do I do? Because I don't like to be outside because we've got mosquitoes. But yet my kids go out there and play. And I think it's really important that we understand as a city the significance of of course, West Nile, and what do we have to do about it?
Yes, and let's start by telling you what West Nile virus is. You hear about it all the time, but I sometimes think we start in the middle of a conversation and not at the beginning. And West Nile virus is a disease that's spread by the bite of a mosquito. And mosquitoes become infected when they feed on the blood from infected birds. And the infected mosquitoes can then transmit West Nile virus to humans and mosquitoes. And it, I think, has a number of ways that it impacts you, because when we hear the stories about humans that have been impacted by West Nile virus, it's very serious, and it has life-changing implications. And death is also something that can come from West Nile, so it's not something to take lightly.
That's exactly right.
Mosquito season in Dallas County typically runs from May to October, with the peak activity in August, so we're not even quite to the peak activity during the month of July. And so we ask that our residents be on a heightened alert during these months.
So once again, we're going to stress prevention, because that really is critical. And residents can practice what we know, or what we call the 4 Ds.
That's right.
Of mosquito safety. And that greatly lessens your chance of the bites and really the diseases.
The first D is to drain.
To drain.
That's
Drain
right,
water.
standing waters. Residents should inspect their own property for standing and stagnant waters, and when found, these items should be drained. And this is kind of a standing practice, that every time we have a rainstorm, and yes, we don't get a lot during the summer, but we are prone to getting evening showers. And I always walk my yard just to find out if there's something that collects water after a rain like that.
That's exactly right. Now, the second D is dawn to dusk. Because why?
Because most mosquitoes avoid direct sunlight, and hence wait to feed once sunset has occurred.
Let me tell you, we had this pool in the back.
Yes?
I've spent a lot of money doing landscaping, did a great job, and it was really nice during the day. And literally, as soon as the sun would go away, you could not use the pool. It was that bad. And so, dawn to dusk, really, really important. The kids want to do like an evening swim, night swim. We couldn't do it.
That's right.
So, very, very important. Dawn to dusk, as you said, they feed to avoid direct sunlight. They feed in the evening. So
That's right.
it's not good. And the third D is what?
Personal dress.
That's right. And what does that mean?
Well,
Means
residents can take action to minimize mosquito
right.
exposure by wearing light-colored, long-sleeve
long-sleeve
shirts and pants. And that's counterintuitive, because it's hot. You want to have less clothes on, but that's really not the thing to do. Clothing that covers exposed skin will offer more protection against insect bites.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, it takes a few minutes just to put a light coat on or a cover up or something
Yep.
like that up there, but it does make a big difference. And the fourth D, of course, is to use a repellent that contains.
The DEET product.
That's right.
And mesquite repellents such as Off, Cutter, or other approved repellents can be applied to clothing, shoes, socks, and directly to the skin when the label states such application methods. And one of the things that I've done is I went to the store, I bought a number of bottles, and I have them at every door. And I just learned that I don't walk out the door that I don't put that on. Because I happen to live close to the lake, and you can't go outside my yard anywhere without being literally toted off by the mosquitoes. So it's just a quick reminder that I have it right there, and it's just what I do before I go outside.
Well, for more information, everything we talked about today, you can go to our website, rowlett.com, and find out all the latest and greatest information. But again, everything that we discussed today about the 4 Ds.
That's right. And stage 3 water restrictions are still in effect, Mayor.
And with the heat comes lack of rain,
That's right.
and that means water restrictions.
Yes,
Not
it
my
does.
favorite thing, but as a region, it's something that's a real serious issue.
Yes, and if you watch the lake levels, Lake Lavon is always the lake in the area that is the most significantly impacted, not only by the weather, but as we've talked to all of you about, the North Texas Municipal Water District has had to take Lake Texoma offline until it builds a water line that's significant in size to their Wiley facility, so that they can commingle the Texoma water, which is salt-driven, with Lake Lavon, and filter out the zebra mussels, which is a very invasive species that they are not allowed to just dump into Lake Lavon. So as a result of that, it'll probably be January before we stand a shot at getting out of any type of water restrictions, because as folks know, we've been in either stage 2 or stage 3 for several years now.
That's exactly right. And the zebra mussels are spreading.
Yes.
You know, I think it was last year was Lake Ray Roberts. This year it's Lake Louisville. I just
That's
saw a
right.
report on that.
That's
and so
right.
it's from boaters that are carrying those invasive species in and putting the boats in the water, draining the bilge, and there you go. You've got zebra mussels.
That's right.
So we have water restrictions in place. We've got to limit your landscaping or sprinklers or irrigation system to once every 7 days, corresponding with the last number of an address. And here's a chart on Rowlett.com that you can refer to find your watering day.
And foundation, new landscaping, new plantings, and those are really considered the first year of any shrubs and trees, can be watered for up to 2 hours on any day by a handheld hose, a soaker hose, or a dedicated zone using a drip irrigation system.
Now we prohibit hydroseeding, hydromulching, overseeding, and sprigging.
Yes, and existing swimming pools may not be drained and refilled except to replace normal water loss.
Now we also put a halt to non-essential government waste or the,
Water use.
thank you.
Yes.
I said waste, didn't I?
Yes, you
I didn't
did.
mean waste, I meant water. I was thinking
Water waste.
Water waste, thank you.
That's right.
Including street cleaning, vehicle washing, operations, ornamental fountains, etc. I think it's important that we set the standard
That's
and say,
right.
look, we're not going to do it, and so how can we hold them accountable if we do it?
That's right, and we have prohibited washing or rinsing of vehicles by hose, except with the hose end cutoff nozzle, so that you don't lay the hose down and it continues to run while you're soaping your vehicle.
Right, see, but you can still wash your car.
That's right.
That's right. But I don't think most people want to let the hose run anyway because you don't
That's
get any
right.
pressure. And
That's
at the end
right.
of the day, you can't really wash your car. So just make sure you have a head on the top of the hose there. It's
That's
important.
right.
And of course, public athletic fields used for competition may be watered twice per week. We're going to continue with that.
Registered and properly functioning smart irrigation systems and drip bubbler irrigation systems may irrigate without restrictions.
That's good.
Yes. So, how about we talk about another favorite subject?
What's that?
Our newsletter.
I love the newsletter.
Yes.
It's more fun than water restrictions, isn't it?
Way more fun. Way more fun.
You know, it's a great way to stay in touch with what's going on in your
Yes.
city. You know, I'm amazed. We used to send a newsletter out, a couple of pages, and it would highlight a few things. Denise Perrin does an awesome job. And each month she puts together this fantastic newsletter that's not only informative, but it's electronic.
Yes.
And I love electronic.
I know you
Because you
do.
can send it off to your friends with the touch of a button.
That's
HOAs
it.
can send it out. And so to Denise Perrin and the newsletter that she puts out, thank you. It's packed with community events, community news, and other programs. It's not only informative, but entertaining.
That's exactly
And I
right.
like entertaining, don't you?
I do like entertaining. No, I have to do it one at a time.
That's
Isn't
right.
that the instructions?
Yeah, one at a time. That's right. I think we're
That's
supposed to be in
it.
sync. There we go.
All right.
So Denise, thank you very, very much.
And this newsletter is delivered to your inbox each and every month.
Baby love,
You can subscribe
baby-
now
I'm
by
sorry.
going to Rowlett.com and simply typing in your email address. I think it's time for a commercial break.
I guess so.
I do too. We'll be right back.
The submersible pumps used in the City of Rowlett sewer lift stations require annual preventative maintenance to ensure their continued operation and service. We will follow the pump technician through the steps involved in maintaining a typical submersible wastewater pump used in our system. The electricity to the pump needs to be disconnected before service can be performed. Notice the technician switching the breaker to the off position and verifying that the power has been disconnected using a voltmeter. He will utilize the live dead live method by first testing a known good source of electricity. Next, the disconnected breaker will be tested and verified that there is no voltage present. Finally, the known good electrical source is tested again to ensure the voltmeter is operating properly. The technician will use lockout tagout to secure the breaker to prevent any accidental electric shock or injuries that may occur. After verifying the electricity is turned off and the breaker is locked and secured, the pump must be lifted out of its place in the lift station wet well. Before it's completely removed, it should be pressure washed to remove any sludge and debris that may interfere with the service. Once cleaned, it will be removed from the well and set on a flat, stable surface. Here we see the bolts connecting the motor to the volute being removed, allowing access to the impeller for inspection. The impeller will be checked for any wear or cracks that may be present. If the impeller is found to be excessively worn or damaged, the technician will replace it. Next, the motor will be laid on its side and secured with a sling or strap. It is necessary to do this in order to drain the oil which lubricates the internal moving parts of the pump. The pump is raised and a pan or bucket placed under it. The technician will carefully remove the drain and fill plugs. Care must be taken when removing these plugs as pressure may have built in the oil chamber. Note the condition of the oil as it drains from the pump. It should be a clear or milky white color. Any discolored oil would indicate the presence of water in the oil, possibly caused by a bad seal. Before the plugs can be reinstalled, the O-rings should be replaced with new ones from the supplied kit from the pump manufacturer. Only one plug will be installed at this time. The pump needs to be pressure tested to verify the integrity of the seals. The technician will install the pressure gauge and use compressed air to pressure the pump to 7 psi. He will observe the gauge for several minutes to make sure there is no pressure drop. The motor housing now needs to be removed. The bolts are removed and the housing is lifted from the pump assembly. Inside the housing are the stator, shaft, and bearings, all of which require inspection. He will check the stator for any burnt spots and the shaft for any excessive wear or damage. The bearing is checked for any damage and the presence of grease. If there is no grease, it should be added at this time. Now the technician will reinstall the motor housing and tighten the bolts. At this time, the pump can be completely reassembled. To begin, the motor assembly is lowered into the volute and the bolts are reinstalled. The technician will tighten the bolts in a star pattern to ensure everything is secured evenly, preventing excessive vibration and binding during operation. He will also raise the pump assembly and manually move the impeller to ensure that it spins freely. At this time, the lock may be removed from the breaker and it can be energized. The technician will switch the breaker to the on position and the pump assembly is lowered back into place in the wet well and proper operation is verified.
Oh, my back!
Ready for summer? We are. Dive into the Wet Zone, Rowlett's family water park. Go to wetzonewaterpark.com for details.
Have a good day at school.
Ready for summer? We are. Dive into the Wet Zone, Rowlett's family water park. Go to wetzonewaterpark.com for details.
What you doing, Mayor?
Reading.
You're reading? Why are you reading? We're
Well, I think
kind
it's
of
very
like on.
appropriate.
We're on television.
Leading change.
Yes, you
We're
lead
gonna have a lot of
change.
change, aren't we?
Yes, we are. I think
But-
change is in our future.
But I'm not plugging change today. We're
Okay.
going to talk about change later.
Okay.
We got a lot of stuff coming with the budget. But it's that time of the year again. And it's time for what? The Summer Reading Club.
Now I understand why you're reading.
So I'll let you do this segment because I got a few more pages here, okay?
Well, okay, because this really is your favorite department, one of several that you claim to be your
Can I
favorite.
tell
But
you just something?
sure,
I don't like this book
why?
because it doesn't have a lot of big pictures. The letters are easy. Look at the size of this font. Look at this. It's really small.
No pictures and small print. That I will cover for you.
See spot run. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
The summer reading program continues through the month of July.
And
We-
for people not like me.
and we did kick it off in June, and we had a great time. But it's not too late to sign up by coming into the library or registering online. And come to the library and pick up your reading log, and then dig into reading. That's our theme this summer.
Well, it's a lot of fun. And in all seriousness, the
Right.
library always has a lot going on. They have
Always.
just tremendous staff. And library is a great summer activity for your kids. A lot of times, the skills they learn in school sort of go stale over the
That's right.
summer. And the library is a great way to keep them engaged and get them ready back for school again.
And that really is the truth. And as a result of that, we did some reformatting of our summer reading club this summer with that very, very issue in mind. And instead of having a set number of books that you read, and a lot of our children were getting them out of the way, that really defeats the purpose. The point is to read all summer, not just early in the summer. So to your point, that's kind of the way we restructured the reading club this
So who's
this
going to
summer.
tell us more about it?
I think it's going to be Kathy Lane.
Well, let's take it away, Kathy.
All right.
The Rowlett Public Library staff encourage reading and the intellectual development that brings the reward of lifelong learning. Research is clear that children who don't read during the summer can lose up to 3 months of vital classroom skills. More than any public institution, the library contributes to the intellectual growth of children during the summer months. The Summer Reading Club began June 10th with a kickoff on the library lawn and continues through the month of July. It's not too late to sign up by coming into the library or registering online. Come to the library to pick up your reading log and then dig into reading. You can win prizes each week for all 7 weeks. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. in July, the library presents fabulous performers at the Rowlett Community Center. Performances include puppeteer Sandy Shrout, entertainer Margaret Clowder, Pint-Sized Polka, and Mikey the Monkey. Visit the library website for more details. And grab your shades and sunscreen for a final splash at the end of the Summer Reading Club party at the Wet Zone. Participants are invited to the Wet Zone for a special party and refreshments on Wednesday, July 31st from 2 to 4. Admission is free for those who complete the program, and there's a special discounted rate of only $3 for friends and family. Also, readers who report hours each week will be eligible to enter grand prize drawings. The grand prizes include e-readers, Walmart gift card, Target gift card, MP3 players, and much more. Don't miss out on drawings and prizes for teen and adult readers this summer too. Baby, toddler, preschool, and McDonald's story times will continue all summer long. Major funding for the summer reading program is made possible by the Friends of the Rowlett Public Library. Read, learn, and have fun this summer because there's something for everyone at your Rowlett Public Library.
Another of my favorite subjects is the construction corner, because we always have construction. And my buddy, Jake Gillian, is going to tell us about that, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And you know what's really cool is that we've got construction going on that isn't road related.
We do?
Yes.
Really? Where's that?
Yeah, I know. That's kind
I'm
of a
teasing.
different
I'm giving you a
thing.
hard time.
That's a different thing. But he's going to talk to us about the recent removal of the old Farmers Market, the Historical Society building, and that these removals were done to make room for road improvements for downtown Rowlett. See, we always get to roads, but we can talk about not having road construction in the interim.
And you know what the people say when you said that? Thank God, because I'm so tired of the road construction, I can't take it anymore.
That's
So, you know,
right. And what's going to be great is the road improvements for downtown Rowlett are going to connect downtown to the DART rail, making us more attractive for developers. So here's your buddy Jake.
In an effort to improve the downtown Rowlett appearance and experience, city crews have begun to clean up certain areas of Main Street. The process began with the removal of the old Farmers Market and the Historical Society building to make room for road improvements. The North Central Texas Council of Governments has awarded a $2 million grant to fund the downtown transportation-oriented development project. This project will include park and ride facilities and access improvements such as a pedestrian mall and wayfinding signage and streetscape improvements like benches and lighting. In the coming months, you'll see more cleanup efforts taking place, as well as the beginning of the extension of Martin Drive to Main Street. For more information on the North Central Texas Council of Governments, visit their website at www.nctcog.org.
Well, you got your favorite, you got your favorite, you got your favorite, and now we're to your least favorite because it's boring.
It is boring.
I know. Every month we have this
But you know why it's
conversation
boring?
because it's stable and
It's good.
yes.
Because he's such a now, not that my favorites are bad like that, but seriously, you know, Alan Gard does our monthly financial report. He's,
right.
And tell me what Alan does again? He's the Chief Financial Officer?
Well, no, he's Director of Financial Services,
Director of Financial Services,
and
okay.
Information
Got it.
Technology.
Okay. So he heads up our finance area.
That's right.
And what I love about Alan, and it goes back to Ryan Funderburk as well, but we went back and council tasked them and said, look, we're going to challenge you. Put this in plain English so that the average person can understand what's going on from a financial perspective. You know, we all don't have a finance degree from some big university or sit balancing books all day long, and the average person wants to know what's going on. Just tell me in plain English what it is. And they've done an outstanding job. But it's so good, it's so easy to understand that it's like, okay, next. just because they do a great job, and we do a great job at managing the citizens' money.
Yeah, and people think Alan's boring, but he wears some pretty cool socks, doesn't he?
I liked his socks. We got a picture of his socks. They're really cool. We did this retreat. He had like Santa Claus socks on that
Yeah,
thing.
he
It's
has
interesting,
the
yeah.
secret squirrel socks. He's got squirrel socks for everything.
I think it was Secret Squirrel. That was
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Someone said squirrel, and I started looking. So.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So don't judge the book by its cover. But this month in the financial report, Alan's going to talk to us about sales tax. So if you're interested in reading the full and detailed financial report, it's available always online at Rowlett.com.
Hello, I'm Alan Gard, the Director of Financial and Information Services for the City of Rowlett, and welcome to this month's update of the City of Rowlett's monthly financial report. This report is provided as one element in the city's effort to ensure financial transparency for its citizens and policymakers. The Finance Department prepares the report and presents it to the City Council at a regular City Council meeting each month. While the presentation made at the City Council meeting usually provides a high-level overview, the report itself is very detailed, providing information on each of the city's funds, key local, state, and national economic indicators, and dashboard information about the city's primary operating funds, major revenue sources, and overall fund performance. The purpose of this report is twofold. First, the report informs the City Council and public regarding the status of the city's financial position. In other words, where are we versus where do we project we would be at this time of the fiscal year? Second, this report informs the staff and the City Council about significant variances in projected versus actual revenues and expenditures. This allows the Council to monitor the city's financial position and make adjustments as needed. This report also provides a context for making decisions appropriately for future budgets. You could say that this report serves as an early warning system. The report provided to Council in June includes financial information through April. We are now 7 months, or a little more than halfway through the city's fiscal year. As we move closer to September, and as we move into the city's budget season, staff will be reviewing revenue trends more closely as we prepare revenue and expenditure estimates for the City Council to consider for the fiscal year 2014 budget. On the revenue side of the equation, overall, the city has earned or received $53.8 million for all funds in fiscal year 2013. This amount is 67.6% of the approved operating budget of $79.6 million and is 2.4% higher than the forecast projected through the month of April. Expenditures have totaled $47.8 million through the same time period. This amount is 60.1% of the approved operating budget of $79.6 million and is 2.5% lower than forecast through April. Based on these figures, the net surplus from operations is just about $6 million. This is $2.5 million better than expected at this point in the fiscal year. The positive trends we have seen so far this fiscal year continue in April. This month, I want to highlight our sales tax, which is one of the primary sources of revenue in the general fund. Sales tax is also an important indicator of the financial health for the City of Rowlett and its community. Sales taxes are collected by the State Comptroller's Office and are recorded 2 months later. Through April, sales tax totaled $3,048,782, or 11.9% more than projected. This increase in sales tax revenue is attributable to the opening of the President George Bush Toll Road, which has led to increased vehicle traffic throughout the area. This is a positive trend for our community, and while it is only one number, it is a good sign for Rowlett's overall economy. You can find this information and much more when you view the entire report at the city's website at www.rowlett.com. If you have any question, please feel free to contact me, Alan Gard, the Director of Financial and Information Services, at agard@rowlett.com or at 972-412-6288.
I need one of those like safari hats. One of those little like, things with the game hats and all that.
We can make that happen.
My kind of like machete thing. I could be
Now that we
collecting
can't
for.
make happen.
I'm trying to get ready for our next piece.
I understand.
But
I'll
I'm
give you a walking stick, but
A
I
walk-
won't.
okay, I'll do a
I
walking
won't. I
stick,
won't
okay.
give you a machete.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not going to sit next to you doing this with the machete.
Oops, sorry.
There are no
We're now
do-overs
looking
with
for another
that.
guest host.
There are no do-overs with
Well,
the machete.
I'm going to be talking about, and I thought it'd be very appropriate if I had my little safari thing on, a little outdoor outfit on, or maybe bird watching, or even like my
Now,
butterfly net.
I like that.
I can cook you with the thing. Look what I caught. I caught a city manager. Okay. So, but no, we're going to talk about the park of the month. And
Yes.
our park for July 2013, park of the month, is what? Lakeside Park.
That's right.
Lakeside Park is a perfect outdoor family park, and it's home to barbecue grills,
Yes.
a fishing pier,
Yes.
5 picnic tables.
There you go.
Not 4, but 5.
That's
right?
it.
Okay. A playground. And see my favorite, hiking and biking. I could use my little walking stick that you talked
With your
about.
safari hat.
And a sand volleyball court.
That's right.
Do you like sand?
Not particularly.
Okay. Well, it has a sand volleyball court for those who like to play. Do you play volleyball?
No.
I'll
I
challenge you to a game.
don't. Okay.
You really?
I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna lose.
I bet I will.
You're going down.
Okay.
No, but seriously. All right, you can go. Anna.
That's
But this-
assuming that
no, this
I
is-
don't get
okay.
beat up with the walking stick and chopped up with the machete.
Well, yeah, you got to get through that first before we get to the thing. All right, well, let's talk about the park. Where is it located?
Well, it's across the street from the Paddle Point Park. And here are some upcoming dates and events at both the Rowlett Community Center and the Wet Zone Water Park. Lots to do here in Rowlett.
Hey parents! Child's Play provides a stimulating environment for your child to explore, play, and interact with other children while you enjoy the benefits of the Rowlett Community Center. While working out or taking a class, check in at the front desk and then drop your kids off at Child's Playroom where they can enjoy a wide variety of entertainment. The fee is $3 a visit per child or $20 for a 10-visit punch card. Please note that parents must remain in the community center while their child is participating in the Child's Play program. The hours of operation are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. For our 60 and older crowd, the monthly potluck social at the Rowlett Community Center will be taking place on July the 11th at 11:30 a.m. Every month is a different theme, and this month is pizza. Participants are asked to bring a side dish to share. Please pre-register. On July 23rd, come out and meet your fellow seniors for lunch around town. This month, lunch will be taking place at Applebee's. This is a great opportunity to meet new people or just to socialize with friends. Are you interested in playing inline hockey this fall? The Rowlett Hockey Association offers a recreational, non-checking league for both youth and adults. Fall registration will be taking place in September. Please visit www.rowletthockey.com to check out all they have to offer. Just as a reminder, the Soar at the Center summer program is still going on and will continue until August the 16th. This program is open to 11 to 14-year-olds and is a great way to keep them busy while you're at work. For $15 a day, our staff will keep them entertained and active all day long. Each day has themed activities including sports programs, Minute to Win It games, team building activities, and even an afternoon at Wet Zone. Be sure to register at the Rowlett Community Center. This program is fun, active, and educational. Be sure to bring snacks and a lunch. The Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department is offering all types of summer workshops for participants from 5 years old and up. Most workshops are for 1 hour per day for 4 or 5 days. The programs still being offered include Science Sleuth, Music Mania, Young Rembrandts, African Safari Workshop, and Lego Pre-Engineering Program. Call 972-412-6170 to register.
There's something for everyone in the month of July at Wet Zone Water Park, whether you're learning to swim, into fitness, a person with special needs, or maybe your family just likes to kick back and watch a good old movie while relaxing on a raft. Wet Zone has all of this month. On July 6th, there will be an angel swim offered. The swim time is specifically set aside for those with special needs and their families. As our special guests, all family members will be able to play and swim and enjoy Wet Zone without all the crowds. It's $4 for 2 hours to swim, or you can pay the regular admission price for a full day pass. No coupons or other discounts apply. Wet Zone will be offering an Aqua Water Fitness and Aqua Fit Boot Camp in the month of July. If you are looking for more of the traditional water fitness classes, those are offered on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, as well as Saturday mornings. These classes are offered for the ages 16 and up. Want something more active to turn your body into a fat-burning machine? Try the old Aqua Fit Boot Camp on Monday and Wednesday evenings and Saturday mornings. Just like June, there will be a Learn to Swim program offered at Wet Zone Water Park. Classes will run Wednesday through Saturday for 2 weeks, and there are 4 sessions to choose from at the park. We offer classes from 6 months of age to adults so that everyone gets the chance to learn how to be safe around the water. We have group lessons for $55 per student. Semi-private and private lessons are 1 week only, and level can be based on need. Want more information about Learn to Swim? Visit www.wetzonewaterpark.com for a full schedule of classes. Flick and Float is a wonderful experience for the entire family. On July 12th, we are staying open late so you can let your family enjoy a night under the stars. Bring out the whole family for a day of fun in the sun and let them hang around for $3 hot dog special meals and a special showing of Pirates, Bands of Misfits. Do you and some of your friends enjoy playing volleyball? Get your squad together and come out and show us what you've got. On Saturday, July 13th at 11 a.m., there will be a sand volleyball tournament held. It will be a 3-on-3 double elimination tournament at the Wet Zone Sand Volleyball Court. Each team will pay $45 entry fee, and the top 3 teams will win prizes. All team members get free admission to the park for participating in the tournament. Spots are eliminated, so sign up fast. Also, at Wet Zone Water Park in July, we will be showing our appreciation for season pass holders. On July 23rd, season pass holders will be allowed to bring a friend with them to Wet Zone, and they can enjoy a day on us. Each pass holder can bring 1 guest free of charge. Just grab your pass and grab your friend and head to Wet Zone. All other guests are welcome to the park this day as well. No coupons or other discounts will apply.
Well, we are back, and we're talking about another segment that you happen to really like, and that's our technology tip from the library presented by Phil Barrett.
These are really cool. Phil's my man.
Yes, he
He
is.
taught me a lot of things.
Yes, he has.
You know that?
I do.
I know how to work my phone now because of Phil.
That's a good thing, because you got a smartphone. There's lots of technology on that phone.
It is.
It's pretty
It helps
powerful.
me out.
I've been told that the computer that sent men to the moon in the 60s was smaller than the smartphone in your hand.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty
Pretty
cool.
cool.
Well, Phil helps us out every month. He's got some
Yes.
great tips for us. And what's he going to talk about today?
He's going to talk about computer operating systems. So here's Phil with all the tech tip details.
Hi, I'm Phil Barrett, Tech Services Supervisor with the Rowlett Public Library, here with a useful technical tip. You've probably heard people talk about different kinds of operating systems. Essentially, operating systems are what allow you to interface with your computer's software and hardware. So if you're using Windows and click the Start button to open up a program, or click the square button on your iPhone to navigate to the device's menu, you are using an operating system. Depending on what kind of computer or device you're using, there are different choices available. For personal computers, Windows operating systems are probably the most commonly used. The most recent systems are Windows 8 and Windows 7. Windows operating systems are developed by Microsoft and are featured in many different brands of computers, including HP, Dell, and Toshiba. The systems are traditionally navigated through the use of a Start button, which leads you to the available program and file locations. However, Windows 8 has moved to a more graphical interface, one that is more touchscreen friendly, as it is designed with mobile devices in mind. Apple computers are also very popular. The newest operating systems for those are OS X Leopard, OS X Lion, and OS X Mountain Lion. Apple systems are navigated primarily by using a menu bar across the bottom of the screen, but otherwise organize files similarly to Windows-based systems. One big difference between Microsoft and Apple is the separation of hardware and software. Windows primarily creates software for computers, though the company is moving into hardware, particularly in the mobile market. Apple, by contrast, creates both the hardware and the software and sells it to the consumer in one package. Apple systems also tend to be a bit more expensive than comparable Windows systems. Typically, you can't upgrade the parts of an Apple computer as easily as you can a Windows computer. However, because of this, Apple computers have a lot of stability. Functionally, they work similarly, and a lot of the underlying architecture, or how the hardware works, is the same as in Windows PCs. Traditionally, Apple computers also have fewer problems with things like viruses and malware. Linux-based systems are open source, meaning that the source code is made available for free to anyone who wants to look at or tinker with it. Open source systems are often developed by volunteers in their free time, all collaborating with one another. Because of the nature of open source software, it is sometimes, though not always, free. Linux doesn't have just one operating system you can download, but rather you choose a distribution depending on your needs and technical expertise. Some common Linux distributions are Ubuntu, Mint, and Fedora. Linux also forms the basis of some individual applications like Mozilla Firefox. Historically, Linux was only used by people who already had some technical expertise, since the systems didn't come ready out of the box like a Windows or Apple system. However, more Linux systems are being released that have easy-to-use graphic interfaces, making Linux a viable option for more than just tech experts. Mobile is beginning to replace laptops and PCs as the dominant form of computer use. Smartphones and tablets are miniature computers, so they have their own operating systems. Android from Google and iOS from Apple are the most popular systems for smartphones, though the Windows mobile operating system is increasing in popularity. The Android operating system shows up on many different kinds of smartphones and tablets. Like Windows, the operating system isn't tied to a specific piece of hardware. Apple phones, like Apple computers, are entirely built by Apple, both hardware and software. There are pros and cons for both, but both operating systems work similarly and offer some of the same features. Like with computers, choosing one mostly boils down to a matter of preference, unless you discover a particular feature or app that you can't live without that only one operating system offers. There's a lot more to learn to completely understand how operating systems work and all the differences between them. However, it isn't necessary to understand all the ins and outs of operating systems to make a decision on which one to use. Learning a bit about how to use each of them should be sufficient to make the choice for which system is right for you.
Next is my favorite thing.
What's that?
Where your money goes.
Do you like that?
I do.
You know, you did it last month with me.
That's okay.
And it was really good. Come on, one more time. Ready? Here we go. But you have to do it together. You weren't
Okay.
quite on sync last month. So
Okay.
ready? Here you go.
Where your money goes.
That's right. See?
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about that for just a second, because we tease a lot about that. But you know, my buddy Jake is back again.
Yes.
And we promised you that when we added that
$8.65
to the water bill, that was going to go specifically to maintenance in the utility system itself.
That's right.
We promised you an accountability, accounting every month, basically,
That's right.
a level of accountability to say this is where your money goes.
That's right.
And so Jake this month is going to talk about what? The process of pipe bursting?
Which is pretty cool.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, it's something that's really important because it helps get rid of the old pipes, and
That's right.
Again, at the end of the day, it's something that we need to do. So
Yes.
take it away, Jake.
Where your money goes.
We've spoken several times in the past about pipe bursting and what we can do with it. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how it works and what's involved. Pipe bursting is what is known as trenchless technology. This means several hundred feet of mainline pipe can be replaced in a shorter amount of time than using traditional open excavation methods. Once it's been determined that a certain section of pipe needs to be replaced, the utility construction crews will start the ball rolling and prepare the area for the project. After notifying the affected residents, the crew will assemble a new section of pipe and disinfect and pressure test. In the meantime, they will dig access pits at both ends of the section of pipe they will be replacing. One to place the pipe bursting machine in and the other to feed the new pipe through. Once the rods have made it through to the other end, they're connected to a cutting head that has been attached to the new pipe. After everything's secured, the new pipe will be pulled back toward the machine as it breaks the old pipe out of its way. Now that the new pipe has been installed, it needs to be tied into the main line and placed back into service. After the machine is removed from its pit, the crew will connect the new pipe to the existing and make any service line taps that were previously connected to the main line. They may install a new fire hydrant or two depending on the area and location of nearby hydrants. At this point, there's not much left to do. The access pits are backfilled and the dirt compacted to our standards, and any grass disrupted in the process is replaced. And we've just replaced 500 feet of old mainline pipe. Normally this process would take quite a bit longer and require several days of cleanup to return the area to normal. Through the use of trenchless technology, the time and money spent on each project is greatly reduced, and there is far less disruption to the project area and our community.
Outdoor cooking. One of the great pleasures of the summer is eating and cooking outdoors with family and friends. The popularity of this activity is attested to the great number of variety of outdoor grills and barbecues that are being sold each year. Such grills can be fun to cook on and provide delicious food, but they can also be dangerous. None of them are foolproof, and all should be handled with care. Never use charcoal barbecue grills in a closed space. Burning charcoal emits carbon monoxide gas, which even in small quantities can cause injury or death. Once a fire has been started, never add starter fluid. Fire may follow the stream of fluid back to the container, causing an explosion and scattering flaming liquid. Use great caution in disposing of ashes. Ashes may contain live coals, which can start a fire if not disposed of properly. The safest method is to wet the ashes thoroughly with water before emptying the barbecue pit. Follow the precautions to enjoy outdoor eating in health, happiness, and good weather. Don't be tempted on a rainy day to use your outdoor cooking equipment inside, not even in the garage or on a porch or balcony. For additional information, please call me at 972-463-3940 or send me an email at bbeckner@rowlett.com. Again, I'm Brian Beckner, Fire Marshal for the City of Rowlett. Thank you for your time.
So let's go to upcoming dates of interest, because
Yes,
we've got
sir.
a lot going on as usual.
That's
Why don't you
right.
tell us about the council and P&Z meetings, because I want to also have an announcement too.
Okay,
Do you want
well,
an announcement first?
okay.
Go ahead, tell us about the meetings. And I'll do the answer. Go ahead.
Well, council meetings are going to be Tuesday, July 2nd and Tuesday, July 16th. And Planning and Zoning Commission meetings are going to be Tuesday, July 9th and Tuesday, July 23rd.
Okay, you done yet?
Well, I'm almost. All meetings are broadcast live on both RTN16 and Rowlett.com, so you can also watch previous meetings on Rowlett.com on the streaming video page at any time. And yes, I'm now done.
Okay, good.
Okay, so what's your
I was going to
announcement?
add to this.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, because we actually had our annual planning meeting of the City Council.
That's right.
And one of the, what I believe is a really great outcome from that is
That's
the
exactly
council
right.
agreed to meet basically twice a month for council meetings and twice a month for work sessions. So every week we're going to be meeting to talk about work session and council
Related topics.
and council related topics. It's really important.
Well, it's going to start in August, and I think that is so significant. We have a number of really significant topics that we'll have to be dealing with in the next 12 to 24 months. And after going through our planning calendar and talking about the budget issues and the community investment program and all of the economic development opportunities, we can't get it done in the 2 council meetings a month, which are typically about 4.5 hours, which is 9 hours a month. And I can't begin to tell the community how absolutely delighted I am at the level of commitment that you have with the city council that you've elected.
Well,
Because
and it
you
is a level of
appreciate
commitment.
the time that's needed to make
That's exactly right.
informed decisions.
And it is a huge decision, we are signing up for a lot. I don't think people realize the amount of time and effort that's spent, but we've had some meetings run till 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning,
That's
depending
right.
on the agenda topics, and to be able to have an opportunity to spend time in the work session, go home and digest the information, ask additional questions, and then come back the following week to a council meeting it's just a huge win for the citizen.
And the summer reading program continues at the Rowlett Public Library, so swing by the library and dig into reading today.
And you can take your book down to the water park.
There you go.
That's
There's
right.
something for everyone at the library.
And don't forget our 4th annual Boards and Commissions volunteer events, Thursday, July 25th from 7 to 8:30, and that's at the Rowlett Community Center.
There you go.
So in closing, aren't you glad it's over?
I lived
For another
through
month.
it.
You
That's
survived.
always the goal.
I put away the machete for today. But we hope you enjoyed the show, and thank you to all that have tuned in today's program to stay in touch with your government. You know, if you have an idea or suggestion, I like ideas and suggestions. Do you like ideas and suggestions?
I love ideas and suggestions.
Well, we want to hear from you. Email or call us because we'd love to hear your feedback. And a special thanks to Drew Rist, our entire communications staff, and Denise Perrin, who helped and assisted with today's broadcast. You know, there's a lot of work and effort that goes in behind the scenes, and we produce this all in-house.
That's right.
So until next time.